back to the Argentine Rugby Breakdown. I'm Flore.
I'm Pato.
And on today's video we're going to review the second round of the Super Rugby Americas, which is just finished. So this will be our first thoughts and everything of the 3 games that have been played.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about the first game of the round. It was played on Friday. It was Peñarol against Raptors. It was Peñarol's first game of the season. They are the current champions of the South American tournament.
Yeah,
the new name this year.
The team is from Uruguay, and the Raptors are the American team.
Yeah.
So what do you thought about the game?
It was disappointing. Raptors improved a little bit, but let's start talking about Peñarol first. The home game, home team.
The game finished 28-19 for Peñarol. So what do you think about Peñarol?
We were expecting much more from Peñarol.
Yeah.
They are the current champions. They are an established team. They've been playing together a long time. They are the core of the Uruguayan national team. They qualified for Rugby World Cup. So after what Selknam did last week, its performance, we thought we were going to see something similar from Peñarol, and it was not there. No,
not even close.
No, tons of mistakes, tons of silly mistakes, of giving soft penalties. At some point, they had to show lack of willingness to win the game, really win the game and get the bonus point.
For me, it was like they were still on holiday. They forgot about how did they play, what was the game about. They didn't have an idea of the game, and it's weird because they've been playing together for 3 years now. It's like they haven't had that many changes of players, so the coaching staff didn't change. So they had to play like Selknam or better, but we didn't see that. Pato mentioned this, that they didn't have any will to win. They were close. They were winning. They were close to the bonus point for the tries, and they had penalties on their favor. And instead of trying to go to the line or trying to ask for scrum and see what happens, they kick to the post, and it was like, don't you want to win?
Exactly. You're playing home. You've got the upper hand there, and you have a penalty in the 22s, and still instead of going for line and going for a scrum with your wind behind your sails and putting the pressure on the opposite team, they just said, okay, let's get the 3 points, and they were already winning by a big margin. It was not like the other team was going to come back.
It was the weakest team. They were playing against the weakest team of the league, and it's a tournament when, like every tournament, every point counts, and they just didn't do it. Yeah. So it was like, for us, it was very, very disappointing to see this first game of Peñarol. We pray that the next one will be better.
Let's hope, yes.
The second,
the American Raptors.
Sorry, the Raptors. We're going to talk about Raptors now. I think they really improved. I saw them less. They would have more focus on the game. They knew what they were doing. They commit less mistakes. They have this will to do something. They knew they're not going to win the game, but it's hard to be the weakest team of a league, because you know that you will lose all the games, but it's like, well, what's the attitude you put to that? You go into the game kind of, okay, we're going to lose this, or you're going to try to prove new things, to do something, to enjoy the game, to practice more, to take something of each game, and I think Raptors are doing it. I hope I don't hope they keep going better, because next will be Pampas, so I want Pampas to win. But I think they started like this, so in these first 2 games, so yes, I think it's an improvement.
Yeah, they definitely improved from the first game. They show kind of the willingness to kind of fight for the game, to try things, to go forward.
Yeah.
But once again, it shows they are a crossover team, and it will take time for all the new players coming into this new sport to adapt and to learn, and that's going to take them time. But so far, I mean, it's an improvement from what happened the week before. So all positives.
I really think I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I really think Landajo is doing a really good job. I don't like Martin Landajo. He's an Argentinian player playing for Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
But he's one of the most experienced players on the team, and he's taking charge of that. He's like making himself responsible for taking this team forward. So he's very paying attention to everything that's happening in the field and
showing leadership.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen that from Landajo before, so I think it's a
positive, yes.
Yeah,
it's going to work. It's working for the American Raptors.
And they need to improve number 10, which is an Argentinian, and I forgot now the name.
González Amorcín.
Thank you. He missed some kicks. I don't like him as a 10, so that's what they have now, and they're not gonna change that. But as a kicker, I don't like him. I like the dynamic he has with Landajo because they played together for a long time in Pumas. But I don't like him as a kicker.
I think the fullback started kicking the game, but then they changed it because the fullback also missed a couple of kicks to the post.
So, well, that was the first game of the round. We're going to talk now about the second one. The second game was Selknam against Pampas. Selknam, the Chilean team. Pampas, one of the Argentinian teams. Selknam won this game 34-20. Selknam definitely is the best team of the season so far. I think they keep on this path of working and playing and doing a good job, working on scrum and lineup, and Pampas was horrible for me. I think Selknam, I would like to see them being challenged, like for a team that can challenge them to put them in a difficult position, because they need that, because they will have that at the World Cup, so they need some team that kind of challenge them, that put them in an uncomfortable position, so they have to learn to grow from that. And I'm not sure that I will see that this season, and that worries me for what will happen to Chile in the World Cup.
Yes, Selknam, as Flores said, definitely they show they are so far the best team in the competition. They're playing as a unit, they're playing as a team. They're making some silly mistakes, some soft penalties that are costing them a little bit, but they are showing a will to go forward, kind of a hunger for the game, for the win. They showed it clearly in this game. Yeah. They started from the very first ball, they went all in. And what Flores says is true, is so far we haven't seen any team that are playing with that same intensity or with that same cohesion as teams. And we expect that from Peñarol. They haven't showed it. Maybe Peñarol solves their problems and comes back into the team they were last season, and they can challenge Selknam. Also, that the other thing is that they're going to be making changes during the season, resting players for the World Cup. They're considering this kind of a 6-month pre-season before the World Cup. So we might not see this performance in coming games. We're going to have to wait and see. But so far, they're doing tons of good things. Very few bad things, and the bad things they're doing, they can solve it with work. And the teams are not challenging those mistakes they're making. So far, we haven't seen a team that can challenge those mistakes they make and challenge Selknam.
Yeah, Pampas,
disappointment.
Yeah, definitely. They played really badly. We saw it live, and live from our house because it was played in Chile. They don't have an idea of game. They are making they are childs in they are 18-year-old playing 18-year-old players, but they are. It's like they've never played rugby before. Like making silly mistakes and they don't have a hunger to win. It's I don't know, maybe it's like they think they're Argentinians and the Argentinians are better in rugby than the rest of the country, so they're going to win this very easily and they don't train enough. I don't know.
I don't think that the issue is training. I think there's, so far, they haven't shown a clear idea of what game they want to play. And so far what we've seen is good or really good individualities in the field, really good players, but they don't play cohesively. They don't play as a team, as a unit.
Yeah. And knowing the tricks of the game, like it was the second try, the one.
Yes, one of the there was a complete kind of knowledge of game rules that they took advantage and scored a try. And the thing is, exactly, they are young players and they show kind of the lack of maturity, but game maturity. Yeah, I think it is. And game management. They didn't know how to manage. They at some point they were in the 22s with a penalty in favor. Selknam without two forwards. And they decided to go to a line out and they kicked the ball to dead ball. I mean, it's you're putting pressure on them. You're in their 22s with two less forwards. Go for a scrum. Why go for a line out? Go for a scrum. Put pressure on them. They had to, if they put the scrum, if they put two players in the scrum, they had to take two players away from the lineup. I mean, you play a channel one and that's out. You have a space out wide. And they just and that is lack of maturity and leadership inside the squad, inside the field.
Yeah.
And that's, I believe this because they're too young and
we don't know wanting to play penalties faster and not communicating at all with the other teammates. I think it's
kind of disoriented. It was not a good game. I really hope that they can.
Someone screamed a lot.
Yes, I was screaming a lot. Yeah. I'm hitting the table. I just hope that they find the work during the next couple of weeks and months that this tournament is going to take. I hope they improve that. They come together into their own as a team and.
I hope this happens in next week because next week we're going to see them. They're playing Buenos Aires, so we're going to go to the match. Mm-hmm. And I hope we are not kicked out of the stadium because somebody was shouting.
Yeah, of the club.
So that was our opinion of this second match of the round. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the third one.
Yeah. Okay. ¿Empiezo yo?
Sure.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the third game of the round. That's Cobras against Dogos. I'm sorry. It just finished a couple of minutes ago.
Yes. Dogos won. Cobras scored 14 and Dogos scored 31.
Yes. Once again, Cobras was the home team. Sorry. And my take is that they were exactly the same as last week. A squad with intent of playing, with willingness to play, but making tons of mistakes, tons of silly mistakes. Their lack of discipline is horrendous. They had another player sent off, but still
another red card.
Another red card, exactly. But they somehow they've managed to take advantage of the other team's lack of scoring, of turning into points the chances, and they kept themselves on the game, on the match for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were better than last game. Maybe because the field conditions were better. Maybe that's the difference I see between the two games. I really think that they have this willing, like they have this hunger that we haven't seen in Pampas, for example. We're going to talk about Dogos and their hunger in a few minutes. They have this they're willing to play and to try things. They're like Raptors in the same way. They know they have to work out, like they will work, do the work, and they are doing it. I think as well they managed to keep at bay those for like 60 minutes without people in the field. I think they're very good. Their strong game is the defense. They're good without the ball.
Yeah.
When they have it, they don't really know what to do. They had really good runs with the ball, but then they lost it at some point. But defending is one of the strongest things. They managed to
keep their teams at bay.
Yeah, and Dogos couldn't score 2 tries because they
were held up after 2 mauls. They've been able to capitalize on the lack of scoring points from their teams. Their teams coming into the 22s and not being able to score, and they've been able to be strong in that, or at least make their team make mistakes. And not score.
And they do have to work a lot in the physical thing, because there were a lot of players with cramps and
yes, exactly. And some injuries as well.
So they need to work to kind of last for the 80 minutes, which is, I know it's sometimes it's hard for new teams, but that's the thing you have to do first. And Dogos, we both were really disappointed about their performance. We saw something good on the first round, and today I wasn't satisfied at all. They didn't have an idea. Again, it's the same with Pampas. They didn't have. We're probably going to do a separate video about Argentina and performance in the match, like in the competition, but they didn't play. They have childish mistakes as well, or this thing of wanting to go faster than they can at the moment. A lot of good individualities, they have good players. They don't have a team.
I disagree a little bit there.
Okay.
I think the game they played was not as good as the previous week. That's right. But I don't see them as kind of disoriented as Pampas is. I think they have a more clear idea of the game they want to play. They still are very young. They still make silly mistakes. They still have a lot of things to work around. Some discipline issues that are silly, stupid to be having, that they should be corrected.
Trying to talk too much to the
ref. Silly stuff. They shouldn't be doing that. But I saw them much more intent of trying things, of playing in some a little bit more offensive and more, I don't know, quickly, but trying a little bit more than what Pampas did. They had a little bit more of cohesion than Pampas, and I think that they were not able to score during the first 10 minutes of the game, when they were pressuring Cobras and they were keeping them inside the 22s, and they made mistakes and they were not able to convert that pressure and that possession and that territory into points. And I think that also allowed Cobras to resist and to come back and to keep on the game, keep staying on the game. And that also kind of played against Dogos' kind of mental attitude, some kind of desperation because not being able to score, having that pressure.
Yeah, knowing that you're better but couldn't.
That you're playing better, you're doing good things, and you cannot turn those into points. I think that didn't play well into Dogos into Dogos players' mind. But I think that is once again it's experience and that can be changed. But I see Dogos a little bit better than Pampas. Definitely, I think Dogos is playing better, and they have a much better idea of the game of what kind of game plan they want, and they're more closer to playing as a unit than what I've seen in Pampas.
Well, so far the second round is over. We had a very weird mixed games. Selknam is definitely above them all, and we're going to see what happens next week without Selknam playing. Selknam has a free
the week off,
so we're going to see all the rest of the team. So we will see what happens.
Yes,
Probably we'll have a preview video of the
third
round. So
to let you know, the next round it's on Friday. Starts with Pampas against American Raptors. They're played in the first game of Pampas at home here in Buenos Aires. Then on Saturday we have the game Dogos Peñarol, second game of Peñarol's third game of Dogos, but second game of Dogos home.
Okay.
They're playing in Córdoba. And the third game is going to be on Sunday, closing the round. It's going to be Cobras, third home game in a row against Jacares, which are playing their second game away. They had Jacares has the week off this round, and Selknam week off. So we're going to see all the other teams except the so far best team of the competition.
Yeah, so thank you for watching again. Follow us on Instagram. We have here
and Twitter as well.
Oh yeah, and Twitter. And we're going to leave down here as well videos of the previews too. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
Bye.